G'day guys, we're out in Arnhem Land and today we are reviewing arguably the most underrated piece of equipment when it comes to 4x4s and touring. This piece of equipment is cheap peace of mind, it's cheap insurance, and it gives you a sixth sense. Also, it increases the safety of you and your family while you're driving on the road. So today we are reviewing the iCheck, the new and improved version 2 TPMS for your car and caravan, trailer, boat, whatever you got. This got some sick tech in it. We are lucky enough to get the first ever one in the world. Just because there's a lot of tech in things doesn't mean it's better. Bit of housekeeping here guys, we are affiliated with iCheck, so we are affiliated with them. However, no one is paying us to make this video. I want to make that very, very clear. There's a lot of reviews on the internet, thousands of reviews, people blindly pushing products they've never tested and used themselves. So we are proud to say we are not one of those people, but we've been running version 1 for over 2 years now, and we've had version 2 for the last 2 months. Let's roll on the clips of us testing this product. We've been flogging it and punishing it through the NT. If you stick around, we might have a stupidly good deal for our viewers only. So there's a little sneak peek of what we've been up to for the last 2 months. Let's talk about the fundamental flaws of TPMSs in the past. Now, we've had other brands apart from iCheck and we have used different brands. The fundamental flaws we've found, they only come with one set of parameters, meaning your road pressures is what it's set to. If you drop your tires to go off-road, go on the beach, go on the sand, whatever you're doing, the TPMS will alarm at you and it will be acting like you've got a flat tire. However, you've let all your tires down, you know that they're flat because you don't want to get bogged. So that's the fundamental flaw number 1. Now number 2 is cables on the dash, cables going everywhere on your dash. Normally with a TPMS, you've got to plug it into a 12-volt plug or give it some sort of 12-volt supply to make it work. Now that clutters your dash, makes it really untidy. I'm a bit OCD when it comes to that stuff. I freaking hate it. And the third thing is bulky sensors. So sensors that go onto your valve stems on your tires that are hard to get off, hard to unscrew, hard to put your tires down. They're fiddly and it's just crap. So I'm not gonna do something that's gonna take me a lot longer than a valve cap would. So that is another flaw when it comes to the TPMSs. The first massive difference with iCheck is they come with on and off-road parameters. Now, that means you've got a set of parameters for on-road and off-road. Normally, the first iCheck, you'd have to set your on and off-road set points into this dongle that sits on your dash. Now the game has changed. So Sam from iCheck, I don't know how he's done this, but he's programmed into this thing a set point that's variable. Now, it's gonna be a bit confusing to start with, but pretty much once you unscrew this little sensor off your valve stem and then screw it back on, whatever pressures you have in your tires, whether you've dropped the tires to 20 PSI, once you screw the sensor back on the valve stem, it will then set a 20 PSI benchmark set point, and then it will automatically alarm you if your tires pressures drop 15% below that 20 PSI or get 25% higher. Tires expand when they get hot. That's why it's 15 and 25 on the other side. Now, it's the same with temperatures. If this temperature of this tire gets higher than 25% of whenever you screwed this on, it will alarm you. So it's automatic. So all you have to do is drop your tires, say, I'll actually simulate a flat tire now. This is what you're gonna hear when you have a flat tire. And then when you screw it back on, it automatically sets the set point for you. So if I'm running 40 PSI, it's 15 below and 25% 40 PSI, I'll drop my tires to go on a corrugated road, the beach, wherever it is. It'll say I go down to 20 PSI, then it's 15% below and 25% above. So no more setting your set points. It's absolutely amazing. It's literally screw on, set and forget. Anyone can do it. Super simple and easy. All right, so you got to ask yourself, this is a bit of a pop quiz. What is the number one pop quiz? What is the fundamental biggest thing that fails on any trailer? 100%, wheel bearings. 100%, the things in here you need a service, right? It's one of the only things that is a serviceable part on a trailer, and that is the wheel bearing. You're meant to service them every 10,000 Ks. Now, if a wheel bearing fails on you, your trailer will go down on the side that it blows out on, obviously. If you have a flat tire on one side, it'll drop to that side, and it has the potential to pull you off the road or pull you onto the oncoming traffic, depending on what side it is wheel bearing failure. It's a massive killer of caravans out there. You're meant to change the bearings every 10,000 Ks. The grease heats up, they don't do their job. Sam has thought of that at iCheck. He's now made a new sensor for this TPMS. Now, that is a wheel bearing sensor. No one's done this in the world. It's amazing. So now there's a sensor that goes in your hubcap on your hub, right on the bearing, and it actually tells you the temperatures of your bearings, live readouts while you're traveling down the road. Now, a flogged out bearing is going to heat up a hell of a lot quicker, so you can actually see your bearing temperatures and it'll alarm you if your bearing temperatures get too high. Now, the set point for the bearing temperatures is at 70 degrees Celsius. We've just done about 350 Ks on Central Arnhem Land Road. It is extremely corrugated. Now, we've seen temperatures on the bearings just reach 50 degrees. Alright, so we're hauling ass up to Arnhem Land to Gove, and I thought I'd show you guys the bearings. So we're running around 53 degrees, which we've been driving for a couple hours and it's really corrugated. So that's the hottest I've seen the bearings get to. But yeah, I thought I'd show you the screen and what it's like inside. So first of all, it flashes up your car tyres, temperatures and pressures. Then it goes to your caravan tyres, pressures and temperatures, and then it goes to your bearing temperatures. And then the cycle repeats. And then if you click the button, you can also see your spares like that. So that is how you operate it. It just flicks through the screen every couple seconds, so it gives you enough time to read it, and it will alarm you if there's anything going on that you should know about. So that's pretty cool. Being able to monitor your bearings gives you that sixth sense, and when you know they're flogging out, the temperatures will increase, and I think it's a sick idea. It's going to give you more peace of mind, it's going to give you more awareness, and I think it's just an all-round good thing. So you have to purchase the wheel bearing sensors separately. However, I would not leave home without them now that I've got them. I think it's a game changer. I hate using that word. I think it's a game changer. Yeah, I think it's awesome. The next sick thing about this TPMS, it monitors your spare tires. Now, everyone's got a spare tire, right? And it's very important to monitor for the following reasons. When you have an underslung tire, so most wagons and some utes have an underslung tire where they put it up under the car. A lot of the time when you go 4x4ing, I've heard this happen so many times, people hit it on a rock, they bottom out on a rock and it'll rip the sidewall off your tire, and then you won't realize, and then when you're down the road trying to change your flat tire, that your spare tire's busted and you had no idea. So this TPMS actually monitors your spare tires, meaning we've got 8 wheels all up, we've got a 10 sensor kit because we've got a spare on the car and a spare on the van, so we know the pressures of these tires at all given times. So that is amazing. You can also disconnect the spares off your van and your car if you don't want to show them on your screens as well, which is another wicked thing. So one of the cons to this unit, version 1 of this unit, and we've spoken about this before, it is a little bit hard to read. When it's fully sunny, it is a bit hard to read. Now, all you have to press is this middle button and it'll adjust the backlighting, so in the middle of the day, you can read the readouts even easier. Another new feature of this is live monitoring. So now the tires don't have to be turning for this to be reading out. A lot of the TPMSs out there are like that. The tires actually physically have to move to trigger the actual sensors to give the readout to the unit itself. Now, this is monitoring all the bloody time, which is awesome. Now, there's a solar panel on top too, so no pesky cables on your dash. Before we talk about the cons of the products, because there definitely is cons, and before we compare price of other units on the market, let's flash back to a better looking Keelan that's 2 months younger and see the unboxing and how you actually install this whole kit and how. Welcome back to the past. Yes, I've time traveled back in time. What did future Keelan look like? I hope he still looked good. We've got the iCheck, the new iCheck TPMS here, and we're going to show you guys how exactly to install it, how I install them. We've been running these kits for about 2 years now, and we bloody swear by them, so won't faff about too much. I'll get straight into the install. So we'll do a quick unboxing, show you what it comes with and what we're going to be putting on the car and the caravan. Alright, so it comes in a box like this. Now, you get your TPMS, this is the little screen that it comes with. We also have a charging cable plus some locking rings, which I don't use, so I'm going to chuck the locking rings out. A little tool so you can actually open up the little bearing sensors. We've got a non-slip pad for the TPMS, the actual unit to sit on top of like that on your dash. And then I've got a 10 sensor kit because I've got a tandem axle caravan. So we're going to be throwing these on first. These are the easy parts. So all I do is I don't even worry about the dust caps. I just screw that straight onto your valve stem. Grab one sensor at a time, because if you do it one at a time, you can't bugger it up. So we'll go around to each tyre because the sensors are actually tyre specific. So number 1 belongs on passenger left, number 2, driver's right. Let's go to our first tyre. Now, this tyre's got a leaking valve, but that's all right. We'll screw it on. Just simply screw them on your tyres. That's as simple as that. So that's number 1. Driver's side will be number 2, number 3, and number 4 over the other side. So we'll go ahead and I'll quickly do the car, and then we'll make our way to the van. All right, so one of the cool things about the kit is that it actually monitors spares too. So I know for a fact that our car spare is number 5 sensor. So we're gonna bang that one on the spare wheel. And then number 10 in the kit as well is the spare for the van. Just screwed all the sensors onto the caravan tires, as well as the car tires, as well as the spare tires. The next thing you're gonna do is just quickly check on your TPMS here to make sure they're all reading. So as you can see, here we go, there's the cars, they're all reading. Car spare, and then caravan with pressures and temperatures. Everything's working as it should. Now, if you're worried about which sensor goes on which tire, it's all in the manual for you. The next part of what we're gonna do is the tricky part. This is a part that I've never done before, and it is installing the sick wheel bearing sensors. Now, this is a brand new bit of tech. No one else offers this. iCheck are the only ones, and I'm bloody excited because wheel bearings will heat up if they are flogged out. If they are having a bad time, there's not enough grease in there, they haven't been serviced for 6 years or whatever, this will alarm you and this will let you know that you're in danger of doing some mechanical damage there. So very keen to get these on, very excited, but they are a little bit tricky to install. So stay with me. I'm gonna show you how to do it, how to pair them up. And like I said, again, they're all numbered. So alrighty guys, that's what the bearing sensor looks like. So it's a little rectangular box, and it's got some 3M tape on the back with a little sensor inside. So just be careful with this. It is an intricate piece of equipment, so you definitely don't want to drop it and run over it and stuff. Anyway, on the actual sensor itself, it's got a little arrow, right? So to pair this sensor to the TPMS, all you've got to do is get yourself a little magnet just like that. I believe one comes in the kit. And to the arrow side that's pointing, all you have to do is hold that on there for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and remove it. That's all you have to do. Now this little sensor is going to be paired, as you can see here, bearing 32 degrees, which is pretty right for today. It is 32 degrees. We're on the Savannah Way, so that is about right. Now we can go and install this bearing sensor on the van, and that's pretty simple too. Let's go do that. It's time to put the bearing sensor on the van now. All you have to do for this, you'll have to have yourself a little bit of wax and grease remover. I'm out in the bush, so I've just got degreaser, which pretty much does the same thing, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully it does anyway. You need a little Allen key. So I'm not too sure about the size. It will depend on what size bearing covers you've got. And I also have a little rag here just to wipe it down. Bit of sandpaper maybe just to scuff the surface, you'll see why. But to remove these little wheel caps is real easy. So there's only 2 actual proper bolts on this. The rest are just for show. So that hole comes off like that. Put that to the side for now. Don't lose your little bolts. Now that exposes the hub. Now this is what we're going to be sensing, right? So just to touch it right now, it's pretty greasy. So what I'm gonna do is spray a bit of this on it, give it a fair bit, chuck that on like that, get all that shit off, let it dry. It's hot as buggery today, so that'll be dry in absolutely no time. I'm gonna peel back your 3M tape. You wanna place this in the very central position of this, because this wheel's gonna be turning, and if you put it off center or on a not smooth surface, so the flattest place is in the middle, just like so. And you want to hold that for probably 20 to 30 seconds. I reckon. It's pretty hot today, so it won't take long to queue up. How good is that? She's installed, she's reading 37 degrees. The sun's just beating down on this side of the van, so that's why it's so hot. But I haven't tested this yet, obviously. Future Keelan has, but right now I haven't tested it, and to be honest with you, I'm very excited. I think this is just a sick piece of engineering, and I reckon to get to this point, to get one of them on, obviously I've got to do the next 3 tyres, but it's been probably 5 minutes at most to do it this far. So quick, easy, simple, and as you can see, we're getting some temperatures coming through, so it's all working real good. So I'll put this little hubcap back on, and I'll repeat the process a few times. There you go, there's the install of this kit. I told you I'd talk about the cons. Let's get into that now. So there's one big pet peeve I hate with this unit: the lock nuts and dust caps. Now, I've been running the sensors on caravans, cars, and doing some of these shittest roads, submerging them in water. We did the teletrack with the sensors on the car. Not once have I ever had an issue without using the dust caps and locking rings. So personally, I think they shouldn't be in the kit. I think it's silly. Yeah, that's one issue that I have with the kit, and it does say optional. I highly recommend not using them. Makes it way easier, and literally just treat the little valve sensors like your valve cap. Just screw them on, and that's all you have to do. Just make ssure they're tight, that's it. Con number 2 is if you have your little screen too far away from the sensors, sometimes they do disconnect. We've had this caravan that's 18'9" for almost a year now, and I reckon one of the sensors, I think it's this back left one, because the sensor, the screen sits on the far right of the car, has dropped out once for like 5 minutes. So you can buy a booster for this, and if you do own a very large, long vehicle, tow vehicle and caravan, or whatever your trailer is, boat, trailer, whatever, I definitely recommend getting a signal booster, and it all comes back down to electrical interference. Now let's talk about price. Now price is probably one of the biggest factors for people out there, especially me. Like, I'm a bit of a tin ass and I want the best value for money thing. So let's compare 10 sensor kits, so 10 different wheels that you're monitoring. I think from Safety Dave, a 10 sensor kit was around that $600 mark. And from iCheck, this particular kit was $449, so $449. So I think personally, considering this kit has all the extra functions that I've spoken about in this video, and then for it to be cheaper, I think that's a huge positive. All in all, we are super happy with the kit. Like I've spoken about, the cons are there, the pros are definitely there as well. I think price-wise, it's really competitive. The extra bearing sensors is an absolute game changer. That is just brilliant thinking. So, all right, at the start of the video, we did say we were gonna give you guys a stupidly good deal on this. We've wrangled iCheck into giving you guys, before the end of the month, if you use the code SKT, you'll get 10% off your TPMS, plus a free set of tire deflators valued at just under $100, plus free shipping. It's ridiculous. You're saving $150. So that is for a limited time, and it's for a limited stock amount too. So Sam at iCheck is a small Australian business, meaning he doesn't carry a huge amount of stock. So get in quick, because it will sell out super fast, and I don't want to hear you tell me, oh, I missed out. I told you to get in quick. Ends the end of the month, so use the code SKT. We'll get you that. Our usual discount code with iCheck is SKT10. That'll get you 10% off store-wide. Now, this exclusive offer for this month only I just spoke about is SKT. If you use SKT10, you will only get 10% off and not free deflators. So you have to use SKT, that's it. SKT, remember that. That's all you gotta remember. And it ends the end of the month. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been comprehensive. I've tried my hardest to stay as comprehensive as possible, and we would not promote a product that we wouldn't sell to our granna. We wouldn't promote a product that we wouldn't sell to our granddad and our nanas. So it's definitely quality. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week for another video. Cheers, legends. Legends, make sure you click and watch this video right here.